Hello, investor. Welcome. This is the second episode of DARA Podcast. I'm your host, DARA. For today's video, I will discuss the difference between investing and trading. Okay, this term have been used similarly in the investment industry, and today I want to point it out and say what I think is the difference and also give you my comments as well. Right, so firstly, I want to go into the definition of both terms, investing and trading. For investing, I believe it is the process that we put the money in and we try to make it go, make the asset increase in value, right, over time. It is the same thing as trading. However, the difference is that trading, we focus on short term and we would try to gain our value faster in the short term. Let me give you an example. So let's say you want to invest in stock. Okay, this is a common example. For trader, you put the money in and then you wait for it to grow, but it's short term, right? Example, if you put $1,000 and you will wait around, I would say a day, 2 days, 3 days. That is trading, and you just hope for the price to go up, right? That's the term. First is the time. Yeah, the difference is the time. Secondly, for investing, it is different from trading, is that we use a lot of patience. It is long term, right? Example, if you want to invest in Apple or Tesla, you're gonna do the same thing with trading. However, you're gonna put a lot of time, a lot of effort into looking at the into the fundamental analysis and what it will impact to the company. Okay, that's number one. Number one is the time, right? Investing take a longer time than trading. Trading is short term. Okay, that's the first one. The second point I want to point out is that into the analysis that people often use. So for investing, they use fundamental analysis. What is fundamental analysis? It basically, we do research about the company, we do financial research, we do the financial analysis, such as the financial ratio, the valuation ratio, like PE, and also other multiples as well. So that is like investing concept, right? Fully. For trading, on the other hand, we often use what we call technical analysis. And technical analysis is we use, I would say, line charts to basically pinpoint what is the next move of the chart, right? You can say that for investing, we look into the company background, looking into how it will grow into the future. So example, if you look at Apple, if you say that, okay, Apple will, I don't know, fall in the next year, you're gonna sell, right? And if it grows, well, you're gonna buy. However, the difference between trading and investing is that, again, it put a lot of time and effort. Right? You can't just, okay, I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna buy Apple. No, you're gonna do research, and then you're gonna try to make financial analysis on the company, right? For the third difference, I would say, is that people don't actually use much money and I would say resources into trading compared to investing. Overall, if we talked about like people who have money, no bias here, they can do either trading or investing, right? However, if you talk about investing, it's more on the capital side, right? So if you have a lot of money and then you try to, put money into something, make it grow, that is investing. However, for trading, it's the opposite. Trading, we can do like both little money and a lot of money, right? Similar to investing, okay? The difference is the money, right? Investing take much capital. That's how you call it. Like personally, I call that, right? So if you use a lot of money, then I call it investing. And if not, that's trading, okay? That is just how I perceive things as it is. Now, what I want to talk about in the next section might surprise you because I'm a person. I love finance. I love investment. However, I don't really see the true nature of technical analysis. So before we get into that, I want to say that people who do investing and people who do trading, they can earn, I would say, the same amount of money if they have the knowledge of the company, right? They can do that. For investing, you put strategic thinking into your decision, right? If you win, you're gonna win really big. If you lose big as well. But you don't really see the reward or the losses as fast as trading, right? Here's an example. If you put 1,000, example in Tesla, you believe that the company will grow into the future. And so with investing, if that company really grow, you're gonna earn money, a lot of money, but in, I would say, gradually increasing the value, right? Example, dividend yield. And if you lose, for example, okay, you put the bet, the Tesla gonna grow, but it's not, and it's gonna fall, the value gonna fall. Well, you're gonna make loss, right? However, it's not gonna like drop down and you're gonna lose a lot of money. It will take times, right? Why? Because investing, it focuses on long term. Oppositely, for trading, you're gonna lose. If you're gonna win a lot, and you're gonna lose maybe. I would say it's based on the timing. You can lose and win money faster than investing. If you put 1,000 in Tesla, you make profit. You're gonna make it faster, right? Because of the changes, the increase, right? The decrease of the pips or the point. So that's how I see it. Okay. Now, people actually don't prefer to use a lot of trading term, like the word trading. They often use investing. That's what I can see. However, most of their belief and expectation, they do trading a lot, but they use the word investing, right? And that's just how I see it. It's not right. It's not right. To really make an investment, is to really be patient with what you have towards what you want to achieve. And if we talk about life, it's similar to being disciplined, being patient into what you grow, right? This applies to growing plants, growing your business, studying, is investing, right? Trading, you put the money, you wait for it to grow. And one more thing I believe is that trading is actually a gamble. Okay? Trading is a gamble. this is a topic before I get into the technical analysis. For the technical analysis, I will go and talk about it at the end of the video. Okay, but for trading, I believe it's a gamble. So why do I say it's a gamble? Firstly, it involves money. Of course, you bet. Okay, you put the money. If you buy, you put the money. If you sell, or you request the money. So it involves money. Number two, with trading, you rely on technical analysis. And technical analysis, I believe that it don't work. But example, if it works, okay, let's just example if it works. I still believe that the indicator, all of technical stuff, wouldn't make a 100% prediction into what the future might hold. Right? That's what I believe. Again, I'm going to say this again, technical analysis, I don't believe it works. Right? That's why I don't believe that the market will make the way with the technical analysis. However, example, if it works, technical analysis will work. It's still, I would say, in the limit of what it holds for the market to be. Okay? Meaning that it cannot predict 100%. There's 20-30% flaws, right, into technical analysis. I believe that's the thing. Okay, now, and that's a gamble. If you put the money in, the market not gonna 100% go as what you plan, but you do it anyways. That means that you hope. You hope for your reward to come in and slashes, and you get the profit, and then you escape. It's like playing roulette. That's the same thing. Okay, so you put the money in, and then you wait for it to not grow, but make point where you escape. It's a gamble thing. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the technical analysis. Technical analysis, hear me out. I don't believe in it because it don't work in the whole market system. It works only if you have one market person controller and one person who do trade. Let me say it again. Technical analysis, I don't believe that it will work in the whole market system, but it will work if you put a single person who control the whole market and another person who observe and try to do the trade based on that person, market, right? Scale, all of that. So why do I say this? Firstly, let's take an example. Okay, I talked to my friend about this and I explained him about, this idea. And he actually, first of all, he do believe that technical analysis works. And the reason why I'm sharing you with this, I'm not trying to say that it don't work, but mostly it don't, right? Mostly it don't. So let's take an example. If you have two person A and person B. For person A, there will be a person who control the stock market, right? A person who controls the stock market. This means that it can control if the stock go up or down. You can think of it as a financial institution like big, but for this matter, I only focus on two person. So that's person A. Person B, he or she is the one who do the trade. So let me clear it up. Person A control the market. Person B is the one who do the trade. If person A put the market up or down, person B will try to predict its next move by using technical analysis. And I did say before, right? It will work. Why it will work? Well, here's the thing. Technical analysis, I believe, and I read it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is a study of the chart, right? Whether it's up or down by looking at past performance, past chart. So it indicates a pattern. What kind of pattern? A human-like pattern, right? It's the behavior of the person, and they try to learn all of them. But again, human is not predictable, okay? It's not always predictable. So you can imagine how the market gonna move. But example, if the technical analysis, you stated that it will work for every chart indicator, okay? Then yes, person B can use the technical analysis on that one person, right? On that person A, they look at the chart of the person A, they're gonna see what are the chart indicator. Then they're gonna pick their book and then they're gonna start doing trade, either buy or sell. And this will work 100%. Why? Because it's only one market, okay? And that one market have a chart, person B look at the chart, analyze what kind of pattern, and then go back to the stock chart and then click buy or sell, right? They made the trade decision. But that works only if they trade with one market person. Now, let's take the look at example number 2. For example number 2, imagine that there's 1,000 people. There's no market controller, only traders. And it's the same as the situation right now. Okay, example, the world right now, but it's only 1,000 people. And those people will do the trade. Example, they already have a chart, right? A graph of what the market's gonna look like. Example, look like this, right? And then they're gonna use technical analysis, all of them. Okay, they're different people, but they're gonna do the technical analysis. And they're gonna, I would say, example, if they understand all of the technical analysis term, the wording, how it moves, all of the pattern in history of technical analysis, right? Even then, they still gonna make a 100% fair choices. They're gonna, I would say, buy and sell at the same time, at the same accordance of amount, because they use, I would say, they have full knowledge of the technical analysis, right? Now I want to ask you, this is where my defense going to. Do you believe that in the world right now, everyone know and understand technical analysis? I don't believe so. There are still some people that don't understand technical analysis and they prefer fundamental analysis, right? This is, okay, if you're not going to talk about fundamental analysis, only technical analysis, do you believe that 100% people in the world right now, they understand them? No. And so, if you have 1,000 people, right, and you put them into the stock market, some know technical analysis, some do not know. We're gonna look at the chart. Example, you have chart A. 500 people will say it's gonna go up because of the technical analysis. They understand it. Another 500 people, they're gonna sell. Why? They don't understand the technical analysis. Or I don't know, okay, fine. They don't understand, but somehow they made the prediction to go up. Anyways. So I would say this is part of market efficiency too, because people don't they don't know fully of the market information. They don't understand fully of the technical indicators, the analysis. Even then, when person look at the chart, they're gonna make one decision. Each of them, 1,000 people, each of them will make a decision based on technical analysis. If they know all of it, they're gonna make the same choice. But do you think they know all of it? I don't think so. They don't, right? They don't know all of it. Okay? They don't. And so, I believe because of this, the market always fluctuate. It always change in random numbers. Some people say it's gonna go up because of the stock market. Some people gonna set down because of they don't understand about the technical analysis. They don't see it, right? Because of this missing link, the market not gonna fully be controlled by a person or a group of person, let alone because of technical analysis. That's what I believe. Okay? That support my claim that I don't believe in technical analysis. It won't work. If you want to trade or invest in a company, do fundamental analysis, work on your finding, do research, what are the increase, decrease into the financial analysis, into the ratios, profitability ratio, efficiency ratio, insolvency ratio, liquidity ratio, valuation ratio, all of the things that you have to learn, right? And I would say the closer the gap for, I would say the shorter the time frame of a market, the more of the volatile it is, right? It's more volatile. The longer the term, right, the time frame of the chart, the less volatile it is. Except for, I don't know, a stock flash crash, right? It might happen, but really, really rare. And this also happened, toward penny stock, stock that is really volatile in, I would say, for small company. So I would say decision is based on that. But that would covers everything I want to share with you towards investing and trading. For investing, you put the money in, you hope for it to grow and be patient with your money, right? You stick with the plan, okay? For trading, you put money less or big into trading, and you hope, you put gamble to yourself if it will work or not, right? Why I said gamble? Because it's based on technical analysis, and I don't believe technical analysis will work. Okay, that's just what I believe, my own perspective. You might ask, okay, how about all of the other person around the earth, right, that win by using technical analysis? I have no comment for them. Okay, you might say that it is the end of my argument for this one. I would say it's because of luck. If you argue with me, it's not because of luck, because of pure skill, fine. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. Because I put my claim into this video, and again, like I said, because of there's a lot of people around the earth that do trading, different market, different exchange, they don't know 100% of technical analysis. Right? Remember, trading use technical analysis. Investing, I believe, use fundamental analysis. And if those people don't fully understand what is technical analysis is, like beginner, professional, do you really think that the market gonna go by their way by one collective people? I don't think so. I would say, okay, this is my support for your claim if you said that I'm wrong. Example, technical analysis do work and people make money because for the trade and they successful. And you said because of the skill. I would say it is those time where people actually put a lot of money in. Example, in the market. And then when they win really big. When they lose big. And I would say your claim that people make people be successful by doing trade, I would say it's because majority of the market understand technical analysis. Around 60 to 70%. I don't have the evidence, but I would say that. Okay? And when most majority of people understand technical analysis, they're gonna do trade with the same pattern of buy or sell. Example, if the chart going zigzag mode and example 800 out of 1,000 gonna go for buy because they understand technical analysis, that gonna pressure the market gonna go for their way, which means technical analysis work. Okay, and the money, it works. It goes to that majority people. But until then, I don't have the full proof of the evidence that the full market or the majority of people knows technical analysis. I'm just basing my scenario here. So again, if the scenario, there's a lot of people, majority of people understand technical analysis, they're gonna make the decision, buy or sell in majority of trading, and it's gonna control the market. So technical analysis win. Okay? But if it don't, then it will fluctuate very high. People gonna try to buy or sell, reducing the chart graph. So yeah, in summary, if my advice to you, try to do investing research about the company instead, making sure whether the company gonna go up or down based on the company performance, position. And if you do trade, fine. That's no hate, right? It's absolutely alright. Technical analysis, still for me a fun way to learn about the chart graph. And if it's worked for you, then go for it. It's alright. Just don't I would say put too much risk into it. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's all for my second episode of DARA Podcast. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.